Jealousy. The word alone can stir up an emotional hornet's nest. When the guy you're with starts showing signs of jealousy, it can trigger a variety of emotions: confusion, concern, irritation, or even flattery. However, understanding jealousy from a guy's perspective is not as straightforward as it might seem. Why does a guy get jealous, and how should you handle it? The purpose of this article is to demystify the psychology behind a jealous guy and provide actionable advice. First off, let's be clear: jealousy is a universal human experience. Feeling jealous isn't unique to men or women, it's a human thing. It can happen in friendships, among siblings, and most notably, in romantic relationships. In this article, we'll specifically focus on the dynamics of guy jealous behavior. Secondly, not all jealousy is harmful. The emotion is like a tool that can either build or break a relationship, depending on how it's used. Throughout this piece, you'll gain insights into different facets of male jealousy and learn how to navigate the emotional minefield. Whether you're dealing with a guy jealous over your accomplishments, your friends, or even your past, this advice is for you. So buckle up and let's delve into the green-eyed monster. We'll also be featuring expert opinions, scientific research, and statistical data to substantiate our claims. So rest assured, you're in good hands. Let's get started by identifying some common signs that indicate a guy might be struggling with jealousy. Identifying the green-eyed monster. Signs a guy is jealous. Recognizing when a guy is jealous can sometimes be as clear as a neon sign or as subtle as a whisper. Sometimes, the indicators may not even seem connected to jealousy at all. So how do you know when you're dealing with a guy who's caught a case of the green-eyed monster? One clear sign is possessiveness. If a guy starts acting unusually possessive or starts demanding to know every detail of your life, be cautious. Although wanting to spend quality time together is normal in a relationship, there's a fine line between love and stifling control. Another warning flag is passive-aggressive behavior. A jealous guy might not openly confront you but may resort to backhanded comments, sarcastic remarks, or even silent treatment as a way to communicate his insecurities. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that jealousy often manifests itself through negative emotional expressions, reduced affection, and an increase in destructive behavior. These are behaviors you should look out for if you suspect that your guy is jealous. Furthermore, an anxious or overly concerned reaction to your social interactions, especially with other men, can also be a symptom. If he's getting antsy about you spending time with other people, it might be time to assess the situation. Lastly, if he's putting down your accomplishments or the people who are important to you, that's a definite red flag. Downplaying your successes or your relationships with others can be a way for a jealous guy to feel better about himself. Understanding these signs is the first step in managing a guy's jealousy effectively. Keep these indicators in mind as you continue reading, because they'll come in handy when we discuss solutions. Psychological underpinnings. Why do guys get jealous? Jealousy is a complicated emotion that doesn't have a one-size-fits-all explanation. However, several psychological theories aim to unravel this mystifying emotion. One of the most well-known is the evolutionary psychology perspective, which posits that jealousy has evolutionary roots. In prehistoric times, men who were possessive of their partners had a better chance of ensuring their offspring survived. Though society has evolved, the emotional circuits in our brains have not necessarily kept up with the pace. Another angle to consider is the attachment theory, which suggests that our early life attachments to caregivers shape our adult relationships. A guy who was insecurely attached to his caregivers might exhibit higher levels of jealousy in adult romantic relationships. So, when a guy is jealous, it could also be an echo of past attachment insecurities. Social learning also plays a role. Guys learn how to be men through cultural norms, family dynamics, and peer influence. If a man grows up in an environment where jealousy is normalized, he may adopt a similar mindset. One fascinating study in the realm of neuroscience discovered that the same parts of the brain that are activated by physical pain also light up during episodes of intense jealousy. So, the experience is not just emotionally painful but could be perceived as physically distressing too. Understanding why a guy gets jealous requires a holistic approach that considers evolutionary drives, attachment styles, social learning, and even neurobiology. The key takeaway is that jealousy isn't a monolithic emotion. It's a complex interplay of various factors. So before you jump to conclusions or make judgments about a jealous guy, remember that his feelings are rooted in a complex web of psychological elements that go far beyond the surface. The why behind a guy's jealousy can provide invaluable insight into how to handle the situation effectively. The healthy and unhealthy sides of jealousy. While jealousy often gets a bad rap, it's not entirely a negative emotion. In fact, a little bit of jealousy can sometimes be a sign of love or deep emotional investment. It can make partners more attentive to each other and even renew a sense of passion in a relationship. On the flip side, excessive jealousy can lead to toxic dynamics like possessiveness, mistrust, and emotional or physical abuse. The healthiness or unhealthiness of jealousy is often determined by its intensity, duration, and the actions it prompts. A fleeting moment of jealousy when you see your partner laughing with an attractive person is generally considered normal. However, if that feeling transforms into obsessive thoughts, stalking behavior, or trying to control your partner's every move, then it's a problem. Healthy jealousy serves as an emotional indicator that highlights the importance of the relationship to the individual. It can spark conversations about feelings, expectations, and boundaries. On the contrary, unhealthy jealousy usually stems from personal insecurities rather than genuine concern for the relationship. Communication is crucial in distinguishing between the two. If jealousy leads to open, honest, and respectful conversations between you and your partner, it could be a growth point for your relationship. However, if the jealousy serves to silence, intimidate, or manipulate, that's a glaring red flag. It's essential to be vigilant about how jealousy manifests in your relationship. Being able to identify whether the jealousy you're encountering is healthy or unhealthy can make a world of difference in how you approach the issue. A relationship therapist, Dr. John Gottman, notes that couples who can talk openly about jealousy have better relationship satisfaction scores. Open dialogue doesn't just resolve issues, it strengthens the emotional fabric of the relationship. Why understanding male jealousy matters. By now, you may wonder why dissecting a guy's jealousy is even necessary. The answer lies in the concept of emotional intelligence, your ability to understand, interpret, and respond to emotions, both yours and those of others. When a guy gets jealous, it not only affects him but also impacts the emotional climate of the relationship. Understanding male jealousy is a gateway to deeper communication. Knowing the why behind the emotion can help both partners come up with strategies to manage it. This understanding can be especially helpful for women who often find male emotional responses puzzling or hard to interpret due to societal conditioning around masculinity and emotional expression. Getting to the root of jealousy can also preemptively solve other problems in the relationship. For instance, jealousy is often linked with trust issues. If you can address the jealousy directly, you may prevent trust from becoming a more significant concern. Understanding can also help you decide your next steps. Whether it's worth investing more time and emotional labor into the relationship or considering walking away, knowing the intricacies of a guy's jealousy can guide your decision-making process. Moreover, having a grip on why guys get jealous and how it manifests allows for healthier coping mechanisms. Instead of defaulting to defensiveness or counter-accusations, a comprehensive understanding provides you with the tools to deal with jealousy constructively. Finally, recognizing the signs and underlying causes of male jealousy also serves as a safety mechanism. In extreme cases, jealousy can escalate into harmful behaviors, including emotional or physical abuse. Being aware of the signs can help you take steps to protect yourself if needed. 5 surefire ways to deal with a jealous guy that actually work. Okay, so you've identified the jealousy, and you've peered into its complex psychological landscape. Now comes the pragmatic part. How do you deal with it? Here are 5 actionable strategies that have proven to be effective. 1. Open dialogue. Don't underestimate the power of a frank, open conversation. Use I statements to avoid sounding accusatory. For example, say, "I feel uncomfortable when you act jealous," instead of, "You make me feel uncomfortable when you're jealous." This subtle shift in language can pave the way for a more productive dialogue. 2. Be a mirror. Sometimes, people aren't aware of how their jealousy manifests. By reflecting his behavior back to him, describing how it feels and looks, you may give him valuable perspective. 3. Address the root cause. More often than not, jealousy is a symptom of deeper issues like insecurity or fear of abandonment. Addressing these root causes can often alleviate jealousy. 4. Be consistent. If you've had a conversation about how to address jealousy, be consistent in your actions and reactions moving forward. Consistency can build trust, which can, in turn, lessen jealousy. 5. Seek third-party mediation. Sometimes, a neutral third party like a therapist can provide invaluable perspectives. This step is particularly useful if jealousy becomes a persistent issue or if previous steps haven't resolved the problem. Each of these strategies isn't just plucked out of thin air. They're grounded in psychological research. For instance, a 2019 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that open communication significantly reduced instances of jealousy and increased relationship satisfaction. The do's and don'ts of addressing jealousy. While dealing with a jealous guy, it's as important to know what not to do as it is to know what you should do. Let's tackle this with some practical advice. Do take your partner's feelings seriously. Even if you find his jealousy irrational, dismissing it can exacerbate the issue. Don't play games. Trying to make him more jealous to prove a point is a dangerous game that usually backfires. Do maintain your independence. Healthy relationships allow space for each individual's personal growth. Don't allow jealousy to restrict your freedom or autonomy. A relationship should never feel like a prison. Do consult trusted friends or family for advice. Sometimes an outside perspective can offer valuable insights. Don't publicize the issue unnecessarily. Respect your partner's privacy and dignity by keeping the matter between the two of you or within a trusted circle. Experts like Dr. Helen Fisher, an anthropologist who has studied love and relationships extensively, suggests that setting boundaries and expectations are key in handling jealousy and fostering a healthy relationship. Does jealousy equal love? The age-old adage that jealousy is a sign of love has been romanticized in literature and media, but does it hold water in real life? Well, let's unpack this contentious idea. On one hand, a certain level of jealousy can indicate that a person values the relationship and fears losing you. In this sense, it can be seen as a byproduct of love. On the other hand, excessive jealousy is often a sign of insecurity, control issues, or even emotional abuse. In such cases, love has little to do with it. It's more about possession and control. Therefore, while a minimal amount of jealousy can be construed as a form of emotional investment, there is a fine line that should not be crossed. Too much jealousy can become corrosive and detrimental to a healthy relationship.